Welcome back to Donington Park. Just a quick reminder about our Monday night football. It's the NFL. Washington Redskins versus Philadelphia Eagles. That's on Monday. That's followed live by Monday midnight. San Diego Chargers versus the Houston Texans. Or the Houston Oilers, if you're a child of the 80s. You may remember them as them, but they are now the Houston Texans. That is the live game. If you don't want to stay up all night to watch that, then you can catch the extended highlights, 8 o'clock Tuesday evening for that. And that is on British Eurosport 2 HD. Well, we do have a minute or so just before the sidecars get underway. James Hayden is still with me here at the end of Parc Fermé, whilst Mr. Whittam has gone off to prepare for his commentary duties on the sidecar race. James, just while we have a moment, I just want to touch on another rider who does have an influence somewhat on the top six, isn't in the top six, but I would certainly expect him to be having a good show at Assen and Silverstone and Brands Hatch, and that is Tommy Bridewell, of course. What do you make of his progression ever since he got on that Holsall bike?
Well, it's been fantastic. You know, we really have seen, you know, he's hinted at it a lot of times. He's had a bit of bad luck, but then to get on that, and we've really seen the sort of form that he could do. And he's the only real disappointment for me, as in that I wish he had been in the top six, because actually he's the one you really feel is fast enough, and now he's finding his form. 2 podiums in 2 meetings after never having had one before. He loves that bike. You kind of feel that he's, in each time he's closer then and closer. You kind of feel now he's just getting to the point where he could be challenging for race wins. And even though he's not going to be able to win the championship, he could still have a massive part to play because he's going to be so quick, because he's going to be taking points. You know, if he gets in between someone, you know, he might be taking 9 points off someone if they're first and third, yes, you know. So he could have a big part to play, and he's really finding his speed. So it's great, and I think I'm really glad that he's actually got this rich run now. He's happy in the team, and what the hats off to Halsall as well. They've done a brilliant job. Haven't
they just turned around the fortunes of Tommy Bridewell and everybody else who's associated with them? That's for sure towards the end of the season. Thanks very much for that, James. Right, time now to get on then with the Eastern Airways Sidecar Championship race, our last live race of the day from Donington Park. Let's go straight over to our commentary team of the man who loves sidecars almost above everything else, James Whittam, and alongside him, Barry Nutley.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, 10-lapper this is, and it was an eventful race one yesterday afternoon, which only went for 7 laps. The rain stopped it, but not without a huge amount of incident. That resulted in Ben and Tom Birchall having an impact on the first lap, which basically took them out of the weekend. They collided with Craig Chaplow, doing substantial damage to both outfits. Chaplow worked right through the night. He starts from the back of the grid. But Tim Reeves takes pole position and starts from the front alongside Sean Hegarty, who chased him all the way, setting the fastest lap within 1/10 of a second of the lap record. And James, this is a wonderful circuit for F1 sidecars. They really flow around here.
It is. It's fast and flowing, particularly the bit from Redgate Corner right round to, let's say, coming out of Coppice. Little bit stoppy-started then from the last part of the course, Foggy Esses, Melbourne and Goddard's, and even into Redgate. It's a little bit of a scratcher's paradise, but all after Redgate, fast, flowing, beautiful for these things. And down there, they're actually quicker than the solos.
Very, very quick. High quarter speed, of course, but yesterday was dramatic. Birchall's, as I said, have gone home. That's given Tim Reeves a fantastic lead at the top. Hegarty there in second. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson on 181. Ben Holland slipped back a little bit because the best he could do yesterday was 5th. Reigning champion Roger Lovelock, Aki Aalto from Finland. Edwards and Barry James there, pretty close. And Ian Drown Chaplow. Johan Reuterholt is back, our disabled Swedish friend. He's riding today, and he turned in an 11th place, I think, yesterday, going very, very well indeed. So good to see Johan Reuterholt back, and 1 or 2 of the young guns also going very well. There's the Birchalls, you see, the 40 they scored in 1 outing, 2 second places, and they didn't improve on that yesterday. Actually, Ben Birchall off home, got to get it repaired, back to Switzerland, because he's in 2nd place in the World Championship after 6 straight wins. That is phenomenal. And that, in my opinion, James, contributed to the incident yesterday, because he might have thought he was invincible.
Yep.
There you have it then. Reeves and Hegarty front row. Peach and Lovelock 3rd and 4th yesterday. The race determining the grid. Ben Holland, Mark Edwards, Lee Barrett. And then Ricky Stevens, Ryan Charwood, John Clark from Northern Ireland, with Justin Sharp in the side of his LCR Suzuki. There is John Clark with Justin Sharp sporting the leathers that he wore when he rode with Liam Abbott. 10 laps then, looking forward to this one. It's been a fantastic day here at Donington Park, and traditionally the sidecars, I won't say drawing the the short straw, but they're always the last race on the programme. We look forward to it.
Here we go.
Now, Reeves has got to get away because Hegarty is determined. With James Neve in the chair, the lights go, and look at Hegarty moving across towards the centre. But Andy Peach, always a demon starter. Andy Peach, and there, Tim Reeves on the outside. Peach looking at the inside, but sweeping round Tim and Tristan Reeves. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson. Hegarty in third, using all of the track in actual
And a bit
fact.
more.
And a little bit more. A bad start for Ben Holland. He got totally boxed in, the number 60, Finicat Suzuki. Look at the advantage Reeves has already.
Unbelievable, and that's in effectively about 3 corners. Somebody's out there. That's Hegarty out.
That's
I'm sure.
Hegarty. That James Neve's hand in the air, so the second place man, the front row starter alongside Reeves. Oh, that's a disappointment. That means Tim Reeves is going to romp away to this one. This is going to be the battle between everyone else.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be definitely a battle for second, I think.
Well, goodbye, Tim. Our director's going to let you get on with it because we're looking at second place here. Roger Lovelock, Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood up in third. So a great start for the number 100 team of Stevens and Charwood. There, the stricken outfit of Hegarty and James Neve. Sad day for them, sad sight. Simon Gilbert as well. Simon Gilbert and Ashley Moore, number 11, they're pulling up. That looked a strange sort of handling situation.
Yeah, it did. I don't know, a flat tyre or something there. It didn't look to be going straight, did it?
Oh, Andy
hang
Peach.
on.
What was that? Andy Peach spun. I saw a hand go in the air. Andy Peach on the inside at the Melbourne Loop of Roger Lovelock. So that has thrown the cat among the pigeons.
He's like mad.
Well, it's certainly close. It's certainly close. John Clark there. So who's that's Ricky Stevens in second place. Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood. Office Solutions, Yamaha. Look at these guys. Look at the BMW of Lovelock. Reigning champion, Roger Lovelock, Aki Alto. A bit of a twitch there.
Yeah, and you know what, when you see that happening, it's like sort of sliding the rear of a car. They lose so much speed. You know, if you see that in the middle of the corner and the outfit isn't smooth, you know they're not going to jump out of the corner so quick.
Assured Office Solutions, the sponsor of Ricky Stevens, and there's someone who spun. That's Stevens spinning. Ricky Stevens spinning in the back of the
old hairpin. He's right at the side of the track. They need to get away from that really and hope everybody else. The thing is, that's not an unsighted corner. You can see all the way through the old hairpin because you go dropping downhill towards it. That's lucky.
I tell you what, James, that is youthful exuberance. Went in there too hot, I reckon. Lost the back end.
That's right.
There's your race leader, Tim and Tristan Reeves, absolutely a country mile ahead. 4.3 seconds last time over the start-finish straight, so it's a battle between all the rest. And in second place at the moment, it's Lovelock, Aki Alto. Then it's Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett. Then it's John Clark. John Clark doing a great job here as well with Justin Sharp. There, 57, Tony Brown on the Paymundo.com Yamaha. The BMC champion, newly crowned. Look at this then. Holland on the inside of Clark.
Yeah.
How close do you want it?
That was, yeah. The thing is about these sidecars, they can actually rub a little bit of paint more than the solos. You know, they can kind of tup each other a little bit and get away with it.
I'll tell you what, Ben Holland senses a podium here. Ben Holland and Lee Watson on the Finicat Suzuki, the black and yellow one in your picture now. Sense a podium. And their bike is quick. Has it got the legs for Clarkey, number 90? Out they come. They're on the inside at Redgate. Through they go. Up to third then. John Clark and Justin Sharp running very well. I tell you, they're the walking wounded. John Clark's come back from a broken neck and Justin Sharp's got a poorly leg. Still, what a matter. Doesn't matter. Get on with it.
Yeah, that's it.
There, up to fourth place, I beg your pardon. I'm saying third.
Yeah, he's fourth, yeah.
It's third in this battle, of course, because Tim Reeves is almost out in the dust. 8 seconds now, the lead. Mark Edwards in the final podium spot at the moment. Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett on the Kawasaki.
Chaplin Briggs into the pits. You've got a technical issue.
Well, they've spent all night repairing their bike, so obviously something didn't work correctly. It was badly bent when the Birchalls tail-ended them at the Melbourne hairpin yesterday afternoon. They won't be on the Christmas card list, that's for sure. Second place, but leading the chasing pack, Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto. This will be a fantastic result from them, but we're on lap 3 of 10.
Still fighting.
Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett just having a look at that. They fancy a bit of second place here. Look at Ben Holland. Ben Holland on the Finny Cat. He's gone up inside. Is it third? Yes, it is. Up to third then. Now you're in third place. I called it wrong earlier on, but I've got you now. You're in third. Ben Holland, Lee Watson, number 60, up to third. Ahead of them, Lovelock. Then it's Mark Edwards and Lee Barrett. Then it's John Clark behind. And Tony Brown and Callum Lawson is in with Tony Brown.
If you get a look at these things, particularly the shot from in front, you'll see just the layout-wise, you'll see the radiators laid flat between the body of the outfit and the sidecar. Well, you see the hole, that's where the radiator is situated, way up. And you'll see also sticking out the left-hand side, almost in the face of the passenger as he's crouched down his air, you'll see air intakes. That's where the air's sort of sucked in to the airbox.
Well, Ben Holland's on a mission here, and he's up the inside. The Finning Cat Suzuki goes through to second place. Well, this is a charge indeed, and he needs this. He's fourth in the championship. Peach's main adversary is running in 9th place at the moment, so this will dramatically close the gap between Ben Holland and Andy Peach. Lovelock as well, currently 5th in the championship. And Mark Edwards, so this is where the championship is as well. Tony Brown and Callum Lawson on the Paymundo.com Yamaha there behind John Clark, 57. There's Barry James and Mark Howard. Mark Howard, the passenger there, that's his last outing because he's off to Afghanistan. He's a serving soldier.
Oh, is it? Still, big impact there. Oh. It is.
Dear me.
Well done. Well done.
Lee Barrett lucky to miss that.
I tell you what, it's a fair whack as well. He landed around his back, it flicked him out. The two touched in the Melbourne hairpin, and he got flown. That's just like eyesighting off a solar watch. Goes up the inside, gets clipped, and look at that. That's a big whack. That helmet will need replacing. That's taking and presence of mind to look immediately where people are coming from and get out of the way.
Well,
nice one.
It's a bit like stepping out on the M6, really.
It's not good. I mean, that's at the Melbourne hairpin, but he's still doing 50 miles an hour there.
Yep. Well, Lee Barrett up on his feet and running away. I have to say, I think Mark Edwards went for a hole that wasn't there. It did appear that way.
I tend to agree with you. Far be it from me to criticise that. I did it a few times myself.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything. I do think I was calling those races.
I think you were, yeah.
Ben Holland and Lee Watson then well in second place. Lovelock and Aki Alto still in third, charging on. That's elevated everybody up. So 5th place. If he does this, there's your race leader. There's your race leader, Tim and Tristan Leaves, with the length of the Dunlop straight advantage over the rest. That just says everything. The reigning world champion, 4 times title holder, is a country mile clear. But I have to say, it's not been without incident, so he got away clear, and these guys have been walking all over each other.
A sidecar race is never without incident.
that is so true. That is so true. Now, 2nd and 3rd, these are the 2 remaining steps on the podium you're looking at now. John Clark in 4th place, driving very hard indeed. And Tony Brown having a look up the inside. Up to 4th goes Tony Brown. That is remarkable. That is absolutely remarkable.
The only Yamaha engine outfit in the race, I think. And lovely Yamaha colours on the outfit. It's a good-looking thing.
Johan Reuterholt there, and that's a 2004 Yamaha. Let me tell you, it's 10 years old, so he's doing well, the boy. He's just won the BMC F1 Championship, and he's got sponsorship from a financial services company for the rest of the season to keep him going in this and for next year.
Right.
So that's what it's all about. You win titles, you win prizes.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
John Clark and Justin Sharp have not given up the chase. 4th place then, number 57, Tony Brown and Callum Lawson. And he's looking good, Tony Brown. He is on a charge here. 2nd place, Lovelock, 3rd place, Lovelock, 2nd place, Holland. There's your 4th and 5th. And quite a gap then back to Barry James and Mark Howard on lap 6.
These passengers doing a lot more than what you'd think, you know. I mean, you know obviously about it, but for those people at home, they're working really hard. Obviously, they've got to get the weight out the left to stop the sidecar wheel tipping up on the left-handers. They've got to get over the other side on the right, and they've got to and that's not. Yes. And then what else you've got to do is obviously right-hand side for the right-handers, like we're seeing, and then stay over the back of that driving wheel, stay right over, all the way over the driving wheel, just so the thing will grip on the way up.
Well, let's have a look at this. That was a bit of over-exuberance again at the S's, cutting it a bit short, nearly pitched him in, but he went across the rumble strip.
Do you know what? I mean, I'm no expert, but the passenger got across really early there, and that kicked the sidecar wheel up, and that meant he couldn't actually keep it going left,
well,
the driver.
That's Callum Lawson, the ex-Sean Hegarty passenger, doing the honours with Tony Brown there. Third place Lovelock there, still in fourth. John Clark saw an opportunity there, the number 90 from Banbridge, County Down. He's a good hard charger, John Clark. A farmer by trade, so he's a good tough lad. And Justin Sharp, of course, vastly experienced. Younger passenger there, those two looking good, I have to say. But they're
not as good as them.
Not as good as them, you have to say. The brothers Reeves. Goodness me, what a lead they have. 12.1 seconds, the advantage. They're out of sight. As far as Ben Holland's concerned, he's on his own now. The Finning Cat Suzuki rider there in second place. What a different story it was yesterday when we had spots of rain. The red flag came out, coinciding with the sun, actually, and in my opinion, they might have got away with it.
Actually, at this time of day, you'd really want around Donington a little bit of cloud across the sun, because the sun's quite low. And especially coming down that back straight and again over the hill before you drop down to Melbourne, it's right in your face when it's this low.
Good point, absolutely good point. And you'll have done many, many laps of Donington late in the day. Look at this, Andy Peach coming through. So Andy Peach is on a charge. He's making ground. Inside John Clark and Justin Sharp goes Andy Peach. So he is regaining positions and regaining points. Well, Barry James 112 in the back of the picture there, looking. No sign at the moment of Tony Brown. Tony Brown into pit lane. What a disappointment for them. They were running so strongly in fourth place. Simon Gilbert there, already having retired, puts his hand up.
Yeah, we shouldn't have mentioned that engine, should we?
We shouldn't have said that. Maybe that 2004 engine has finally cried enough, gone into retirement. So by default, Andy Peach is back up there again. He's ridden hard after that incident at the hairpin, but here he goes. He's on his way. He's passed John Clark, number 90. So Andy Peach will now be established in fourth place. And it looks to me, James, as though the podium is set.
Yeah, you'd never ever think that in a sidecar race. You've seen anything can happen.
It can. You're quite right. But, you know, hats off to Tim and Tristan Reeves. They are having an impeccable season.
Yeah, they are.
And the last round of the World Championship, I know, has been a temptation for Tim and Tristan Reeves to go and have a go, but it does coincide with the British Superbike round at Assen, and we're over there in Assen as well.
Yeah, and not only do Reeves and Reeves do the short circuit stuff, the BSB stuff, the World Championship, they also do some road racing as well. They got the first TT win this year, and yeah, run a real professional outfit.
Well, SMT Racing, Reeves and Finning Cat Suzuki, Ben Holland and Lee Watson. Driver Wolf BMW in third place, number 1, Roger Lovelock.
SMT stands for Standish Metal Treatment up there in Lancashire.
I believe they do a bit of business with Sean Muir, who's in the steel construction.
I think they do, yeah. Robin Croft is the CEO, and he's into his bikes. It's his first foray into sidecar racing.
Gary Horsepole and Paul Napton on the Krombacher Honda, number 32, right there in the wheel tracks of Ian Drown and Ken Edwards on the Kawasaki, and they're on the inside. Krombacher man was here today. I think he runs McCrory Racing as well in the solo world, where he's involved with, put it that way. Horsepole then back, so that is Horsepole. I tell you what, there's a good ride by John Holden, showing 7th on our screen. John Holden and Andy Winkle, newly crowned British F2 champions.
Yeah, that's the smaller outfits with a 600cc motor and a lot different layout. They're not the hub centre steering long outfits. These are the F1s. They're actually more a traditional with a headstock and work more like a motorcycle with a sidecar, instead of working like almost a racing car with a wheel missing. Yeah,
well, of course, a former TT winner himself, John Holden. Having clinched the F2 championship, he's now devoted himself to this series for the rest of the season, so that's good news. Starting his final lap now, Tim and Tristan Reeves looking for another maximum result here. Another 25 points, which will move him on to 295 points. That's unassailable in anybody's maths book.
14-second lead. You could just about push the thing in from now and still win.
Don't tempt fate.
No, sorry. I've had a hit rate at this race. Yamaha giving up. Mind you, he's 20-year-old.
Look at that. The Craner curves and the old hairpin, the distance. But look at the sky in the background.
Yeah, but look at this. The sun is out, and look how much glare there is off it.
You're
Because it's so
quite right.
low.
Absolutely. Ben Holland and Lee Watson marching on to second place. BMW, Roger Lovelock, Aki Alto, a good result for them, matching their best performance, in fact improving, bettering their best performance of the season. So podium place for them will be fantastic. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson at the moment still in fourth place. John Clark holding a narrow advantage from Barry James and Mark Howard. And John Holt will be thrilled because he's down there in seventh. They're the top six on your screen. Confirmed John Holden in seventh. Then it's Gary Horsepole. That's a good result. Ian Drown and Ken Edwards there in ninth. That's looking how it's going to settle. And Tim Reeves with brother Tristan in the chair. The sun's gone in. The clouds are descending. He's on his way.
He's mucking about there as well. Coming out of Melbourne Loop. Just spinning it up.
I've told him he should, you know. I used to say to Steve Webster in the old days, come on, Steve, give the others a break. There he is then, checkered flag for Tim and Tristan Reeves. A big shame for Sean Hegarty. There's second round Goddard's for the last time. And over the line to clinch second place on the podium. Final podium spot goes to Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto. A big thank you to James Whittam. I love your three-wheel enthusiasm, James. Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers.
John Clark and Justin Sharp coming over in fifth. Sixth place, Barry James. There's seventh, John Holden. Eighth is going to go to Gary Horsepole. Round he comes. And Ian Drown and Ken Edwards have done a remarkable job this season. The Kawasaki is quick. And they are just ahead of Roger Body and Jamie Wynn, Roger Body's series promoter. That's his best finish of the season. 10th place, 6 points, and he wins some of his own money. Applause by the marshals, the dark clouds closing in here. Last race of the day, of course, but sidecars always entertain. Tim and Tristan, good weekend's work for them. Double victory again, 50 points maximum here at Donington Park. It would have been a different story had not the Birchells gone off in yesterday's race. I think they stood a chance. They were 0.4 seconds faster than Tim and Tristan Reeves in qualifying. Took pole position, the Birchall boys, but a degree of overexcitement on the first lap. There was not quite a coming together between Reeves and Birchells, but Ben Birchall ran wide, got it on the gravel, and from that point onwards, it was downhill. There it is, confirmed. Nearly 13 seconds the margin over Ben Holland. Roger Lovelock, there's your podium. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson, John Clark, Justin Sharp, Barry James, Mark Howard in sixth. Hats off to John Holden and Andy Winkle for seventh. Gary Horsepole brought the only Honda home in eighth place, with Paul Napton, Ian Drown, Ken Edwards, Roger Body and Jamie Wynn there in 10th place. Rupert Archer and young Sam Christie, a new passenger for him. Well done, Sam. You'll be pleased with that. 11th place from Ian Guy and Ben Ransley. Craig Nicol and Jimmy Connell, all the way down from Scotland. They get points as well with 13th. Fantastic. And credited with 14th place, Tony Brown and Callum Lawson, Johan Reuterholt and Peter Wall, fellow Swede wildcard riders, hence the W, collect the final point. It'll be a significant gain to Tim Reeves, as I predicted, 295 points, 101 clear of Andy Peach, who's now in second. Hegarty, that drops him to third place. Holland closes up, so the hunt for the top, well, top of the step championship's gone, but well, it's never over till it's over. Lovelock there doing well, that did him well today, 152. Edwards, what an incident that was, spitting out his passenger. Barry James on 117. Ricky Stevens there, he's down there in 10th place. Gary Horsepole enhanced his points tally to 55, but 240 adrift, the red column giving you the deficit. Well, as James Williams said, no sidecar race is without incident, and this one was no exception. Andy Peach made a cracking start, moving across into the middle to grab second place ahead of Sean Hegarty. We have no idea what happened at this stage to Sean Hegarty and James Neve, but very early on they were out of the running. He fought back though. Meanwhile, Reeves took a huge advantage halfway around the first lap. Down Craner curves, he had the length of 3 buses over the rest of the field. Lovelock and Aki Alto slotted in. Up went the hand of James Neve because already Hegarty was in trouble. Then, following the leaders, Simon Gilbert and Ashley Moore retired their outfit with a big wobble. Don't know what the problem was there, but it looked pretty unstable. Andy Peach had a bit of a coming together, slewed it sideways, but managed to regain his composure and keep the thing going, albeit on the grass. The hairpin was the scene of quite a few incidents one way and another, but Ben Holland and Lee Watson got their heads down and pushed hard to make their way through, charging up the inside of Lovelock and Aki Alto to assume control behind the flying Reeves. Mark Edwards spat out Lee Barrett, who was so lucky to be missed by all of the outfits coming through. Mark Edwards seemingly going for a gap that wasn't really there on the inside of the Melbourne Loop, and that was the result. Meanwhile, Andy Peach charging up through the field because he had to get himself elevated back up the table, and he had a sterling ride behind the brothers Reeves, Tim and Tristan, bringing it home, and they are so much of a class act.
We are here with the Reeves boys, just having a bit of a joke whilst we were waiting for the highlights package to finish. Tim, congratulations, 11th win, 101 points in the lead now, but of course double points going into the final round. So one hand on the trophy, is it fair to say that, do you think, or do you not want to tempt fate?
No, you can't tempt fate, can you? You never know, do you? We've had a real good run of luck this year, and we've had some real good rides, and unfortunately Sean had a bit of bad luck there. I think he had a clutch problem off the line, so that made it work a little bit easier today. But yeah, you know, I'm just enjoying riding my bike at the moment. I think this year I'm riding better than I ever have. And yeah, it's good to have Tris back on it, and it all seems to be working pretty well at the moment.
Doesn't it just around Donington Park? Donington Park Craner curves, a pretty unique set of corners, especially for you, Tris. How does it feel to be on that outfit?
It's good if you get it right, but if you get it wrong, you're in a mess. It is, yeah, if you miss your time to move, you're just fighting against it, and you'll be off it. But yeah, it's brilliant if you, like I say, if you get it right, it's one of the best parts of track I've ever ridden on, so yeah, it's good. Brilliant. Well, we'll let you guys go to the podium because I'm getting the hurry up for it. So off you go to spread the champagne. Well done.
And just a massive thanks to all the SMT boys, Hayes, Dave Husband Carpets, everyone that helps us, DFDS, RI, MJK. So we couldn't do it without you.
And you do it so well as well. 11th time this season. Off you go to the podium. Well done.
Thanks very much.
There we go then. Right, the lads are going to make their way up to the podium, and Barry will take us through the champagne spray.
Well, they are very much a class act. Robin Croft must be thrilled. Robin Croft, SMT Racing, of course, he's got Superstock competitor here, Adam Jenkinson, going very well as well under his banner. But these boys, the Reeves boys, have the benefit of a pit lane garage, the only sidecar crew to have a garage, and they operate out of that, but they look the part, don't they? And they certainly are having a fantastic 2013 Eastern Airways British F1 season. Well, of course, we have a 10-round championship. We don't go to every single British Superbike round, but we are at Assen, we are at Silverstone, and we do join the finale at Brands Hatch. And there, the Eastern Airways logo smack in the middle of the podium, as shuffling, I can only say, shuffling, Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto from Marlborough and Finland. They could not be two more contrasting guys, but my goodness, they ride well together. Being joined, second place in the race, Ben Holland and Lee Watson. Ben Holland from Portsmouth, Lee Watson from Rayleigh in Essex. And there, the brothers Reeves, Tim and Tristan, top step of the podium, yet again in the Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship. Multi-British champion Roger Marshall presenting the trophies. And we're eagerly awaiting here for the champagne. And I'm quite sure that some of it, as well as being sprayed, will be consumed.
Here
we go.
To put one hand firmly on that championship trophy when we go to Ashley doing time. Race winners, Tim and Mr. Reeves.
Come on, Tim. Not the first time you've opened a bottle.
Oh, well, have you sprayed the champagne, boys?
That's it. Champagne sprays, and what a fantastic win, a double win for the brothers Reeves.
Hang on a second, Reeves. We've got another trophy to
Indeed, it was the
present
11th win of the year for the brothers Reeves out there, and a fantastic result for them. 101 points now in the lead, double points going into the final round, so still all to play for realistically, and Tim Reeves will not be drawn on the question of one hand on the championship. Doesn't quite want to, on the trophy at least, doesn't want to jinx it just yet. Right, we're almost at the end of the day, but before we do, let's just confirm those all-important championship points and standings. It's the top 6 for the showdown. They are now confirmed as Shane Byrne, Alex Lowe's, Josh Brooks, James Ellison. Ryuichi Kiyanari on the Samsung Honda did make it into the top 6. Well, it was a fairly limp affair, it has to be said, and James Westmoreland more far from a limp affair from him. 2 pole positions, and he managed to bag that fine 4th place finish to get himself above Bill-based BMW Motorrad teammate John Kirkham. James Westmoreland finishes then in 6th place on a flat 500. If you're new to this championship, a quick reminder, it's basically a flat 500 point score awarded to all of the top 6. Then their podium credits are added onto it. Podiums they have scored throughout the year so far. 3 points for a win, 2 for a second, and 1 for a third. The totals are then added together, and you see it there. That's how they go into the final 3 rounds. At Silverstone, Assen and Brands Hatch, Shane Byrne leads. He is 6 points ahead of Alex Lowe's. OK, well, just before we go, get the old racing diary out, because we have plenty coming up to tell you about. And MotoGP, it's Misano, round 13. Friday at 12:05 is our live free practice. Our live qualifying is 11:30 a.m. Saturday morning. And 11:30 a.m. Sunday morning will bring you all the races on British Eurosport 2 HD. And it's a very busy Saturday and Sunday because it's FIM World Superbikes as well. Round 11 of that championship from Istanbul in Turkey. 3:45 Saturday afternoon is Super Pole on British Eurosport HD. 8:30 in the morning, so a little earlier than normal for our live race coverage, or that's on British Eurosport 2 HD as well. Now, we've had plenty going on from Donington Park here at round 9 of the MCE British Superbikes. If you've missed anything and you want to catch up on what's been going on, then you can see our highlights package. That's tonight at 7:30. British Eurosport 2 HD. Round 10 of the MCE British Superbikes is up next, and we are in Assen for that. Really looking forward to the foreign round of the British Superbikes. Great action we've had from there in previous years. We will have great action again live Sunday, the 22nd of September from 12 midday on British Eurosport 2 HD for that. But that is it from Donington Park. We now know the top 6 who are going to go into the showdown. We have our title contenders. Can't wait to see what they do on Dutch soil and Silverstone and Brands Hatch. We'll see you there for that. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye for now.